Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my discussion on the ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh! So this ban list will be effective from the 1st of January, so the new year, until the 31st of March. So a 3-month ban list. It's going to be pretty good, I reckon. There's not any changes, but the top deck has been absolutely destroyed to the point where it just doesn't work anymore. So we're going to go through the 4 banned cards, the very new banned cards. Dragon Ravine. This made dragons just insane. It also made Dragoonities very good. Dragoonities are going to take a hit from this, unfortunately. You're not going to be able to search your guys anymore. You're not going to be able to get, how do I say this, infinite ducks. Which sucks, because it was quite good. I think this probably could have went to 1. Because the rest of the Dragon Roller stuff went to 1. So this isn't that big a deal. But it's banned. It's a strong card, so it probably does need to go. But I'd like it at 1. Return from a Different Dimension needed to go. Not just because of Dragon Rulers, because it's one of those cards that can kill in one shot, and it gives you so much out of just one card. Half your life points, a chainable trap. Not quite chainable, really, because if you play it during your opponent's turn, you tend not to get much unless you're using Dragon Rulers. But it needed to go, because it's one of those cards just... It's been on the cusp of being really broken, and when Dragon Rulers came out, they became broken. Self-Destruct button. This one is more of a, not stylistic, but just because it's one of those cards that really shouldn't work the way it does. No other cards are really like this in the game. Usually you don't get draws. Usually being able to just stop a game like that is, even though it's got a massive cost of having a difference of 7,000 life points, it's something that seems a bit wrong in the whole grand scheme of the game. So I think they're just getting rid of this because it's kind of one of those choices when they made it that they really wish they could take back. And Sixth Sense is the last one. This one is basically... It should have been banned from the start. And I think Konami got a bit greedy and wanted to, you know, give us Sixth Sense and make us pay 20 quid a pop for them. I don't mind having a small amount of a format with it, but the amount of games it did break by rolling a 6 or a 5 and getting to draw that many is insane. The worst you could get was at 1 mil, and most of the time you'd be getting a few mils, so this needed to go. It never should have been made. It's a dumb card in general. Moving on to the limited cards, these you can only use 1 of. We have Blaster. We have REDOX, TIDAL, and TEMPEST. All the E-Drags. I'll be doing these all at once because they're all pretty much the same. These needed to be at 1, a format ago. That's all I can say, really. They're so strong. I think now they're at the perfect place. And you know what? I think they could have brought back the baby dragons for this as well. Maybe have 1 of each, like, baby dragons, so 1 burner, 1 blaster, not 1 burner, 1 blaster, 1 burner, 1 reactor, and 1 stream, and 1 lightning. Maybe that would have worked, but, you know, these guys down to 1, it does crush the deck. But now they can be splashed into, you know, whatever that element is, that deck. That's what it should have been from the start, instead of being a full-on deck full of 3 blaster, 3 tidal, 3 tempest. So I'm glad these guys are down to 1. They've ruled a format. That's, you know, whatever. Debris Dragon is down to 1. I do believe he should have been at 1 a format ago. He's so strong. He can... The fact that he can make a very easy Black Rose Dragon and blow up a field that people have took time to build up. You know, Debris needed to be hit. With the advent of people playing more synchros as well, Debris was always good with Max C, so you can make Orient Dragon. So he's really strong in general. He's a 1000 tuner, so you can cards consonants. I'm not sure if people are going to be doing that after this, but I think this guy always should have been at 1 anyway. The only card to come off the ban list, if my eyes are not deceiving me, Magician of Faith. I think this one's been bounced around a few times. I remember the format we had at last was probably the 2006 format. The Apprentice Magician one, which I really liked. I liked that format. So maybe people use Apprentice Magicians in some sort of rogue decks. I'm not sure how much this is going to be used these days. I mean, getting a spell back is very strong. Very, very strong. And since dragons are gone, I don't think the games will be going that fast, so maybe Magician of Faith will be played. It's a very strong card, but there's a lot of strong cards that people aren't being able to run because the game is so fast. But yeah, I think we'll be able to run Magician of Faith because dragons just aren't as strong anymore. In fact, they're pretty much dead. So Magician of Faith, happy to see back. It's a very cool card. Divine Wind and Mist Valley down to 1. This gives so much advantage in the Harpy decks with Harpy Dancer. It's well, it's just one of those cards that can be abused, and I don't like cards that can be abused that hard, especially in a deck that abuses a hell of a lot of combos. So Divine Wind and Mist Valley being down to 1, I'm pretty happy with. I think it should have been released at 1. Final Countdown down to 1, I'm not sure if I like this. It pretty much kills any chance of having a Final Countdown deck, because Final Countdown decks pretty much rely on getting Final Countdown first turn. And there's no chance of getting it first turn every time. And if you can't get it first turn every time, then you're just burning cards to stall your opponent off per turn. I think this kills Final Countdown decks, which is very sad. Not that Final Countdown decks were ever fun to play against and stuff, but it's a deck type that should be allowed to exist. I think Final Countdown 2 is fine, 3 is fine, I don't like 1, it makes me sad. Sacred Sword of 7 stars. Well, now that dragons are gone, pretty much, I don't see the point in limiting Sacred Sword. It's a choice I wouldn't make personally. These guys down to 1, I mean, there's no real 7 stars that people want to banish. Not that I can think of, sorry. I might be wrong. But because of the Dragon Rulers, this doesn't need to be at 1. It could be at 2. I could deal with it at 2, but 1 seems a bit overkill. I think they wanted to make a statement with this list and say, dragons are gone, make something else. Because that's what they made. The last format was they banned all of the baby dragons, and it looked like dragons were gone. It looked like dragons were done because they hadn't had that speed. But then people realized you don't need speed when you can make synchros and go slow, and people have to trade advantage with you, but then you get a bunch of advantage from the grave. I think they wanted to make sure that there was no chance of a dragon deck being the top deck again, which I think is fine. You know, that day has passed, we're on to Boujins and all that, whatever. Spellbook of Fate is at 1. I'm not sure if I like this, to be honest. Spellbook decks were really strong with this card. I hate playing Spellbook decks. It is the most hated deck I have. I really don't like playing against them. This hits them really hard. The fact that recycling it is much harder now really sucks for Spellbook players, but it doesn't suck for me because I hate playing against them, so yeah, whatever. So yeah, this hits Spellbooks a bit, so I thought Spellbooks were one of the decks that would come out of this smelling like a rose. I thought they'd be the ones that could kind of hit Boujins really hard because Spellbook Fate doesn't target and it keeps cards off the field. But with this at 1, I think Boujins actually become the strongest deck. Alright, Chaos Sorcerer is at 2 now. I think this should be at 3, to be honest. I don't think it's all that strong for what it costs. And the only deck it ever really is used in is Light Swans, like the Chaos Light Swan builds. But at 2 is very cool. I'm very happy with it. It should be at 3, like I said. But yeah, really happy with that. LONEFIRE Blossom is a really strong card, and I'm shocked to see it too. It's a 3-star that you can get back with Debris Dragon that will search any plant, and there are some really good plants. There's like Dandelion, there's really big ones like Titaniel, I think her name is, the 2800 attack one that can negate anything that targets by tributing a plant. There's the new plants coming out, the new Plant Light Swarm kind of cards that are coming out. One of those is really strong. But yeah, LONEFIRE Blossom is such a strong card that, yeah, it's just strong. I mean, this used to happen. You go LONEFIRE Blossom, tribute, get LONEFIRE Blossom from your deck, tribute that to get something else, and then you got 2 plants in the graveyard. And you could run Spores, and you can run Spore, and you can run Dandelion, and that's how they used to run the, what was the plant deck that they used to run? It was all synchro related and stuff. I wasn't in that format too much. ARCHLORD KRISTYA is at 3. I am really happy with this. It gives a huge boost to the Herald deck that runs the light. What are they called? My brain just stopped working. I've just gone to see The Hobbit, guys. It was really good, by the way. The agents, that's what they're called. My brain, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, really helps the agents, really stops those special summoning type decks. Really happy with this. MEZUKI at 3, I've been wanting MEZUKI at 3 for so long. It slowly has come back to 3. This guy with Larval Chain and Blue-Blooded Onis can make some really dirty things happen. MEZUKI in general is really good, and we move on to another zombie that does stuff in the graveyard. Plaguespreader zombie. I think this should have been at 3 for a long time, to be honest. And I think that's what they're doing. It's like, this guy really doesn't need to be at, like, 2. So let's just put it back to 3. People might find some ways to abuse it a little bit, but it won't be a full-on abuse. So that's good. TG Striker. This guy being at 2 was one of the reasons I didn't play TGs. And I think now, because the game's going to be a lot slower with Boujins being the top deck, I think TG Striker and all the TGs will actually do really well. And I'm really happy to see this guy. He's also a really good special summonable like Cyber Dragon Tuner 2-star. It's really good. I mean, you can run 3 of these and 3 of the 2000 attacker one, or the 3-star one, and just have those in the deck just to be there, and you'll be able to search each other, and it'll work really well. I like TG Striker. Tour Guide is now at 2. I think when they banned Sangan, that was the point when they should have put Tour Guide back to 3, because the way you ran Tour Guide was 3 Tour Guides and a Sangan. Now there aren't, other than Dark Worlds, there isn't really a really good 3-star Fiend that can be got from the deck that really matters. Tour Guide used to be strong, not so strong anymore. So they're putting it back to 3. I really like the card still. I'd like some secret rare ones. Please send me them, please. And the last one, no, the second to last one, Final Formation TENKI at 3. I did not see this coming. I honestly expected to see this being limited to 1. With, I know I harp on this, Boujins being the strongest deck. Oh, someone's talking to me. With Boujins being the strongest deck, I really thought there was going to be some sort of nerf to it, like TENKI going to 1. That was what I thought was going to happen. But with it going to 3, actually, it helps it out a lot, and it really strengthens Fire Fists, which are actually a very strong deck at the moment. They're really, I think, because the whole game is going to get slower, Fire Fists are going to be one of the top decks as well. But we'll see if anyone's able to speed up the game. The last one is M7. I'm not quite sure why this went to 1 and why it came back to 3. I think it might have to do with Dragon Ravine and the ease of making this guy with all of the Dragoonity stuff, like going into Vajrayana and making this guy and getting some combos off. But other than that, this guy, this guy shouldn't have been touched. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this has been informative, and I want you guys to leave your ideas in the comments, what you think should have been banned, what you're enraged at, what you're really happy with, what your deck's going to be helped with, and what's really fucked your decks up. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rate, comment, subscribe.